What happens when you take a 20-year-old former biker gang leader, a guy who arguably has the IQ of a tire iron, and you put him in charge of the most dangerous, traumatized, and vicious class of middle schoolers in Tokyo? You get a disaster. A beautiful, violent, politically incorrect, and surprisingly heartwarming disaster. You get Great Teacher Onizuka. Look, I'm a simple man. I like my comics and anime and manga with a little grit, a little blood, and let's be honest, a healthy dose of fan service. But I'm also old enough to know that tits and violence don't make a good story. You need heart. You need psychological stakes. And somehow, this manga about a virgin ex-delinquent trying to score with high school girls manages to be the most profound critique of the education system I have ever read. Welcome back to the channel, folks. I'm John, your midlife comic geek. We're diving into the completed classics today. If you're tired of modern protagonists who cry for 10 chapters before throwing a punch, you're in the right place. Do me a favor, smash that like button like Onizuka smashes the vice principal's beloved Toyota Cresta. Seriously, if you don't subscribe, I might have to send a gang of bikers to your house to educate you. So let's set the stage. The protagonist is Eikichi Onizuka. He's 22 years old, a bachelor, and more importantly, he's a virgin. This guy is the former leader of the Onibaku biker gang from Shonan. He could snap a baseball bat with his bare hands, but he can't solve a math equation to save his life. His motivation for becoming a teacher? It's not noble. He wants to marry a sweet 16-year-old girl when he's 40 so she can take care of him. Yeah, I know. In today's climate, Onizuka would be cancelled on Twitter within 5 minutes. But this was the 90s, folks. It was a lawless wasteland. He gets hired at Holly Forest Academy, mostly because the chairwoman sees his strength and is assigned to class 3-4. This isn't just a bad class. These kids are psychological terrorists. They drove one teacher to a nervous breakdown and another to a cult. They don't use fists. They use blackmail, humiliation, and a psychological warfare. The beauty of the plot is simple. The students try to break Onizuka mentally. But because Onizuka is an idiot, and I say that with love, their mind games don't work on him. Instead, he solves their trauma by literally fighting their problems. Bullies? He beats them up. Bad parents? He beats them up too. It's tough love taken to a criminal degree. Let's talk about the art by Toru Fujisawa. The man is a genius of contrast. One page you have these gorgeous detailed spreads of motorcycle action or very detailed anatomy shots of the female cast. You know I appreciate the scenery, but then the faces. The Onizuka face is legendary. It breaks the tension immediately. You're reading a super dark story about suicide or extortion, and suddenly Onizuka looks like a gargoyle. It reminds you not to take life too seriously. Now, I know some of you highbrow critics might turn your nose up at the ecchi tags. Yes, there are panty shots. Yes, Onizuka is a perv. But here is the insightful Jan take. The perversion is the Trojan horse. You come for the comedy and the scantily clad teachers, but you stay because Onizuka is actually the only adult in the room who listens. The proper teachers, like the vice principal Oshiyamada, care about test scores and the school's reputation. They see the kids as products. Onizuka sees them as people. There is an arc early on with a kid named Yoshikawa. He's being bullied relentlessly. The system failed him. His parents ignore it. Onizuka's solution involves a sledgehammer and tearing down a literal wall. It's violent, it's illegal, and it's perfect. It shows that sometimes you have to break the rules to save a life. That hits me right here. This is where the manga shines over the anime. The manga goes darker. We get into the heads of characters like Urumi Kanzaki, a genius with a terrifying dark side. The manga explores why she hates adults. It's not just teenage rebellion, it's deep-seated abandonment issues. Onizuka doesn't fix her with a speech. He fixes her by proving he won't leave, no matter how much she tries to destroy him. Is it perfect? No. It can get a bit monster of the week, new students act up, Onizuka does something crazy, student cries and learns a lesson. If you read 20 volumes in a row, you'll see the pattern. Look, the sexual harassment jokes, they are heavy. If you are sensitive to that, this is going to be a tough read. For me, it's a time capsule to the 90s in Japan. But fair warning. And then the ending. Do not, I repeat, do not just watch the anime. The anime ending is soft. The manga ending, it involves a near-death experience, a massive hospital escape, and a closure that actually feels earned. So read the book. If you liked Assassination Classroom, think of GTO as the R-rated, non-sci-fi older brother. If you liked Gokusen, this is the prototype. So the verdict? I'm giving Great Teacher Onizuka a 9.5 on 10. It has the gore, the adult themes, and the culture that a midlife geek like me enjoys. But it backs up with a story that will legitimately make you cry man tears. It teaches you that school isn't about grades. It's about surviving childhood with your soul intact. If you've read GTO, let me know in the comments. Did you laugh harder at the Cresta smashing or Onizuka's monkey face? And here is what I can do for you next time. I'm thinking of diving into the prequel, Shonan Junai Gumi, the story of young Onizuka. It's even more violent and has even more bikes. Let me know if you want that review. Until then, keep reading, stay insightful, and for God's sake, don't buy a Toyota Cresta if you live near a school. Jan out, see you in the next video.